Ravenhill very much under strength. Ulster's Tyrone Howe and Ashley Blair are missing. Brian Smith and Richie Weir play on the left wing and at scrum half. And following the late cry-off of Keith McGarry, Paul Archer plays at out half and Wilfie Nelson comes into the centre. Joe Beggs deputises in the second row for Paddy Johns, who's had a minor knee operation, and Johnny Gamble takes over at tight head for Gary Leslie. Hugh McCackey, though, has recovered from a neck injury and will captain the side from the middle of the front row. Derry have flanker David Martin back, and the only change from the team that beat Collegians in the league last week, and he joins Keith Gallick and Neil Stewart, both of whom will be involved in Ulster games later this month. Long-serving Mark McFeely's at the heart of that pack. Jess Greenwood, the only other survivor from the 1983 final, plays in the wing. Ulster representatives Steve Smith and Ian Orr are at full-back and scrum half, and Derry will be skippered by the centre Stephen Lindsay. And the referee for this, the second semi-final, another schoolmaster, Mr. Derek Henderson. Paul Archer gets the second semi-final underway. And Dungannon looking to make their second successive final. The holders, remember, there's the skipper, Hugh McCackey, one of many who played a year ago. And that's back on the Dungannon side. The Derry side, I should say, nicely moved. This is adventurous stuff indeed by the men from the northwest, Jess Greenwood. And that's a penalty against Dungannon. That Stephen Smith caused a fair bit of controversy when he was withdrawn from the Irish cricket tour to Kenya a few months ago. This is Sean O'Kane, who in fact had been picked to play for Ulster against the Saltires 6 or 7 weeks ago, but that game was postponed. McFeely deflects, all taken in by Stewart. Great stuff from Derry. That's Hunter. Well, Ian Orr came in and took everybody's eye off the ball. Stephen Smith buries in. There's a Derry player injured in this side of the field. That was knocked forward by Derry, and Dungannon will get the scrummage. Nicely won by Derry. Watch for Ian Orr coming in, and he got his angle right, and Dungannon did very well to hold on to him. Young Alistair Redpath putting him down. Hugh McCackey. That's untidy. Stewart goes through. Weir's in all sorts of trouble. Derry have won that again. They're playing so well. Smith, Kilgore. Cleverly thought out. This is Brian Smith. Stanley McDowell, who will certainly like to counter-attack, and a big gap has opened up here. Stanley McDowell. That's nicely moved. This is Archer. They've men over. Redpath went off the pace. Here's Redpath. Nicely switched to Ronnie Carey, Irish international. Great support again from Dungannon. This is good stuff from the cup holders. They've really come to life. And Derek Henderson deciding that finally it had gone forward, and Derry will get the scrummage. Smith. Derry scrummage under fierce pressure, and they've been penalised for taking the scrummage down under that pressure. And Dungannon now have the chance. So Keith McGarry's not there, and Ashley Blair, who also does a fair bit of goal kicking, is not there. And after a bit of consultation, Hugh McCackey has decided to ask Paul Archer, I think, to go for the posts. Not a bad contact. Off the posts. Jess Greenwood dots it down, and well, Paul Archer not too far away. Just over 15 minutes gone. Dungannon 0 and Derry 0. So Paul Archer at least has got a sighting shot in. And it looked so good, and it just drifted away, and there's that naughty post. Good strike by Derry. Dungannon get a fair bit of squeeze on in the scrum. Smith, no way through from there, taken by Jeremy Hastings. The Derry pack have been lively in the extreme. This is Kilgore. And that's good control. Ronnie Carey takes it quickly, as he's allowed to do. Stanley McDowell, that's up in the air. Was that a late tackle? The referee says it certainly was. Keith Gallick may not have deliberately taken down Stanley McDowell, but he certainly made no attempt to get out of the way. And that's a penalty where the ball has landed, and Paul Archer will have a shot at the post. Well, here's Stanley McDowell, popped it up in the air, and well, no doubt about it, that really was a late tackle. Derry wait anxiously underneath their own posts. Dungannon and Paul Archer looking for the opening score of this semi-final. What a very good kick by Paul Archer. So 22 minutes gone, Dungannon 3 and City of Derry 0, and Paul Archer the Dungannon point scorer. Don't forget, no Ashley Blair, no Keith McGarry, who between them have scored most of Dungannon's points, but Paul Archer, what a good understudy. Kilgore, this is Hunter, this is Lindsay, this is Orr at pace, what a great run. He's got Killeen outside him, if he times it well, he's decided to go. Orr's going to go, can he go all the way? This is Killeen, great support from Martin, the flank forward, and they may just have knocked that forward. Derek Henderson waiting for advantage, and Ian Orr really split that Dungannon defence wide open, but they've come back well, and Wilfie Nilsson gets it into touch for Dungannon, but anxious moments for the Division 1 side and the cup holders. Well, lovely transfer, a little pop pass up in the middle, and Ian Orr angled the run to complete perfection. Took the whole Dungannon back line absolutely by surprise, and here's how to transfer a ball. A little dummy first, however, and he really did get it away, and a lot of support there, and Derry must be wondering how come they didn't score. Good Dungannon shove, nicely picked up. This is Killeen, Stevie Smith. This is Kilgore, a fair old bit of pace. A little chip and chase. Hunter to go for it. Here comes Hunter. Back goes Ronnie Carey, and the Irish international saves the day for Dungannon. But Derry really playing a delightful brand of rugby, and full marks to them, as Ronnie Carey had to use all his pace and experience. It was well done from the scrummage, and look how Killeen came in from the narrow side. And there's the benefit of a piece of straight running. Stephen Smith popping it up. A little bit fortunate that Kilgore took it at the second attempt. His kick was absolutely the right idea. And Dungannon were lucky that they've got somebody like Ronnie Carey who can come all the way back and manage to beat Derry to the touchdown. Johnny Hastings has detached from the Dungannon scrum on the narrow side. This is Weir. Johnny Hastings, who's been lying off. Good driving by him. And a penalty against City of Derry for going over, and maybe Paul Archer will have another crack at goal. And here's Archer. Another solid contact, and another fine kick, and Paul Archer, 2 out of 3 for him. 6 points to Dungannon, no points to Derry, and about 3 minutes of the first half remaining. Derry had realised just what Paul Archer could do. He wasn't too far away the first time. He got it the second time, and he's got it the third time. Nicely pulled in by Gallick. Stephen Smith, lovely pass. Kilgore. Hunter looking for the gap, and he's found it. Oh, he's right through. Oh, great defence there by Dungannon, and again by Jeremy Davidson, who's playing more like a number 8 than he is playing like a second row forward. And it was lovely slick transfer. And watch this, Alistair Redpath, I think, just looking outside him, and Davy Hunter right through. And look at Jeremy Davidson covering across. McCackey, well taken by Davidson. Davy Miller pulls it in. McCackey joins. This is typical Dungannon driving. They're not too far away, and that's the try. And it's Johnny Boyd who's got it. Well, Dungannon will be wondering just when the try might come, and for so long it looked as if it was going to be City of Derry, but the Dungannon pack displaying remarkable control, perhaps for the first time in this game, did it well. It was nicely taken initially by Davidson at the line-out. Davy Miller helped him, and then they rumbled forward, and they weren't too far away, and Derry on the back foot, and a good piece of cohesive forward play by Dungannon, and eventually it was Johnny Boyd who came spiralling off, caught everybody by surprise. Well, that looks good. Well, Archer is very pleased with himself, and well he should. He pulled that in quite delightfully, and that means as we go into the second minute of injury time at the end of the first half, Dungannon are leading by 13 points to 0. Well, this was done well. He aimed it for the far post, and it just curled in beautifully. Just a touch too far, perhaps. And a penalty against Dungannon for taking the man out when he didn't have the ball. Indeed, the man was in the air, which is not just illegal but dangerous. And once again, it's going to be Jess Greenwood to have a go at the posts. So Jess Greenwood, has he got it right this time? Yeah, the Derry Roar says he has. Mighty relief for Jess Greenwood, his first successful penalty in 5 cracks at the posts. 13-3 now to Dungannon, and we've nearly 10 minutes of the second half gone. Here's Greenwood again, and this time, well, you really couldn't get much better than that. Gallic at the front. In fact, it was yes, it was indeed Gallic. Here come Derry again. Nicely moved wide. Well, that could work out all right. Here's Jess Greenwood. Oh, he's still keeping going. Great support. This is Kilgore. He's close. Great piece of defence by Paul Archer, who came back and saved the day. And he's been penalised, but while 3 points perhaps are an awful lot better than 7, or certainly 5, and it was Paul Archer who saved City of Derry from scoring an almost certain try. Derry wasting no time whatsoever. Steve Smith opting for the little tap. There's the pivot. There's Keith Gallic. Back inside to O'Kane, who couldn't hold, and that was knocked forward. And that's going to be a scrummage. Well, the referee's given it to City of Derry. Perhaps the Dungannon man knocking it forward in the tackle. But Derry really did come very close, and they've still got the pressure on. Just about 15 minutes gone in the second half. And the scrummage to City of Derry, and options on both sides. Good strike, but what a good defensive scrummage by Dungannon. Here's Steve Smith. This is Kilgore. Nicely switched to Lindsay, the skipper. Couldn't get his pass away. What adventure has been shown by Derry this afternoon. Liam McGettigan, biggest man in the Derry side. And that did go forward from a Derry hand. And that's going to be a Dungannon scrummage. And they will be very relieved. Well, Stephen Smith, a little show of the ball. And a nice transfer indeed. Marshall Kilgore. And Stephen Lindsay, the Derry skipper, wasn't too far away. And some desperate Dungannon defence there. Weir. Johnny Gamble. That was a rather high-looking tackle from McGettigan, but Johnny Gamble stood up to it well. Again, Dungannon secure possession. This is much better. This is Beggs going. He's taken by McFeely and Smith, and he's laid it back. Dungannon drive. They're very close. Are they over? Derek Henderson on the wrong side. He can't see, and he says no. And oh, Dungannon run in and say, yes, there was a try there. And the referee was completely wrong-sided. Not his fault. It looked like it was Richie Weir. Derry defensive line, nice and flat, behind their own goal line. Dungannon trying to control Jeremy Hastings. That's good scrummaging. Hastings drives and picks up as he got over. And that looks like a try has been given. Well, they did very well, Dungannon. Derry had split up completely. Liam McGettigan actually put his foot in, and Jeremy Hastings just really had to fall over. Hugh McCackey, the Dungannon skipper. Oh, great jump by Davidson. There's Hastings, and Dungannon perhaps hoping to rumble round for a third try from close range. Johnny Boyd, who's got one of them, pulls it in. They're still going. Johnny Hastings is there too. And Derry yet again coming in from the wrong side. Archer. Jeremy Hastings. That's a high tackle by McGettigan. A little bit of indiscipline there. Richie Weir taps. Gives it to Jeremy Davidson. This would be a great try for the big fella. He's got it. Well, he was playing at Ravenhill in a Schools Cup final only 2 years ago, and he probably wouldn't have believed that he'd be going to Australia with the Irish senior squad. Not just in a few weeks' time, and he's rounded off a great season by scoring a try in his first Senior Cup semi-final. The quick tap by Richie Weir. And there was Davidson, and before Derry could regroup, and at 6'6" and about 16 stones, what a strong youngster. Paul Archer then with the conversion of Dungannon's third forward try. And that's a good one. And 25-3 and about 7 minutes of normal time remaining. In or the tap. Stevie Smith, little jink. Oh, this is good. Now Stephen Smith really could have the setting up of a winning try. He certainly overdid that one. Play on, says the referee, but it went forward. And Stephen Smith, well, Ian Orr may not have been clear through to the line. He may have had a bit of work to do, but Stephen Smith should really have given him the opportunity. You've got to applaud Derry's enterprise, and off the left foot as ever, Stephen Smith. He's got a huge amount of pace, and his fellow Ulster representative Ian Orr was right on his elbow. Now Ronnie Carey was there, and I don't doubt that Ronnie Carey would have got to Ian Orr, so perhaps Stephen Smith did take the right option. Derry have been awarded the penalty. Smith to Kilgore. This is Lindsay, the skipper. This is Hunter. Nice transfer. Here's Ian Orr. Orr's going to get a try for Derry. Oh, they'll be delighted with that, and that is thoroughly deserved. It's come a little bit too late for Derry, but they certainly have shown that if they don't manage to get promotion to Division 2, then they certainly are worthy of that particular status. Great try by Ian Orr right at the end. Full marks to Derry for taking it quickly. The transfer has been exemplary all afternoon. A lot of other sides should take note of how Derry move the ball, and Ian Orr shows just how to finish it off. So Jess Greenwood pushes it well wide. He hasn't had a great afternoon as far as the kicking is concerned, and Derek Henderson decides that as far as this semi-final is concerned, that is it. And Dungannon, the holders, through to the final, not altogether convincing, although they were considerably under strength. They've defeated City of Derry by a scoreline of 25 points to 8.
Our performance today I thought was pretty poor, actually. I mean, we can play a whole lot better than that. Satisfied that we got the win, but all credit to Derry. I thought they were magnificent today. They ran at us all day long. Their forwards got in, won a lot of ball, robbed us of a lot of ball, and they kept running at us. And it was only because really we persisted, and we got the breaks and eventually played enough pressure, particularly midway through the second half. Satisfied with the win, but we've a lot of work to do before next week.
Stephen Smith, I think a fair bit of disappointment given Derry's enterprise today, and the bad news is that collegians have gone down pretty heavily at Derrimore. So a season which perhaps promised so much, especially in terms of the league, just hasn't delivered.
Well, yeah, we've had a reasonably good league campaign. We've only lost a couple of times, but I think those games have proved pretty decisive. We came today with high aspirations. We thought we would do quite well, and for the majority of the game we did, but I think in the end of the day, experience and a bit of fitness told.
And there's confirmation of that impressive win for UCD, the students in Division 3 of the All-Ireland League at Derrimore against Collegians. So life very difficult for